Well, I've been out sick a couple days. My voice is still not all the way back, and had upper respiratory tract infection and pink eye in one eye and then pink eye in both eyes. And so it's not been too fun lately, but I'm getting back to good health status, and that has not slowed the project down though. I've been fortunate enough to have Casey over here working while I was out, and he has been putting primer on the kitchen cabinets. So I'll show you a little bit in this dark room and see if you can see what he's done. These are a couple cabinets that we had built in the laundry room, and he's got the front of that and the side all primered. And when you come out here, you can see we've got drawers and doors scattered out everywhere, labeled and primered. And then he's got this section over here where his actual work room is, where he's in process of doing a couple. And we got another room here. So we got all kinds of stuff in process. So here's another room and some more parts that have been primed or in process of priming. And so today, Casey's not here. It's Saturday, and so I'm here and I'm gonna take up where he left off on priming. So it looks like Casey left off right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in with primer. Got a 2-inch cut-in brush. That means it's angled so you can get in nice and tight. And you see the way I did that? I loaded my brush up, and then I went in and I got closer and closer to the corner, to the edge right here. And then when I got it right where I wanted it, then I went straight down. Just trying to use up the paint that's here on top of my lid before I start using it out of the can. Okay, now get down close enough to the bottom where it doesn't work so well, and you just have to get down on the floor. Now we get down here, and you know, if you're not an experienced painter, there's no problem with using some blue tape on stuff like this. But if you've done it for a while, you kind of get the knack of it, and you can do it without taping it up. It's a little bit faster, and it's, you know, just easier if you don't have to spend time and money on tape. Now, nothing wrong with that. It's better to tape it off than it is to tape or to paint the floor or the wall and then have to come back and fix it. So just whatever works for you. And I know this may look a little spotty, you know, right now, but once it dries, it'll dry all the same. And that's it. All the hard part there is done. Get that little bit more there. It looks like it needs a little extra. A little bit extra right there. A little thin. Okay. So I come right along that edge with my paint, with my loaded brush, get closer and closer to the top of the trim until I'm where I want to be, and then I just draw the straight line right across the edge, just like that. Takes a while. Can't get in a hurry when you're painting, for sure. And again, remember, this is just the primer coat. So the only thing I'm worried about here is just getting the wood covered and making sure that I don't have any runs, because the runs will be accentuated each time you paint over them. So like if I had a little run in primer, it would get bigger when I put my first coat of paint on, and then it would get even bigger when I put my second coat of paint on. So your little bitty spot turns out to be a big problem. I can paint with my right hand or my left hand because when I was young, I was left-handed. But in those days in school, they wanted you to be a right-hander. And so they made me be right-handed, but I really wasn't. All right, so you see you got a little bit of a spot there. Have to give me a little rag and wipe that off. Always have a rag and a bucket of water. All right, got it off, no problem. You know, that wall hasn't been painted the final color yet, so I guess it doesn't even matter. I didn't have to take that off. Oh well. And just like that, this side is now got a coat of primer on it. So we are going to be moving over to the front side here and carrying on. All right, I've painted for a while, and so now it's time to quit for the day, but I'll give you a quick update here. This is the kitchen. You can see the refrigerator nook there is all primed. The crown molding's primed. All the face fronts are primed. And the kick plate around the very bottom of everything is all primed, and even on the island. So made some good progress today, and tomorrow I'll be able to come in here with a roller and get the parts that I wasn't able to get today. So as we continue our journey on preparing the kitchen cabinets, these are the cabinets in the laundry room, and we are going to use those as our guinea pig because they're less visible, of course, in the laundry room than they would be in the main viewing area of the kitchen. So these have been primered. And so now the process says that we need to do a very light sanding and then tack cloth, and then it'll be ready for the first coat of paint, and it'll be getting 2 coats of paint. So we'll see how it goes. Well, that's a very light coat of sanding. It makes a little bit of difference. So we'll get a tack cloth now. In case you've never heard of a tack cloth, it's just, you can get it at any hardware store or lumber yard. It looks like this. It's like a cheesecloth type of thing, and it's impregnated with real sticky sap resin of some type, and you rub it over your surface and it cleans it and takes off all the dirt and debris and stuff. So we're gonna tack cloth this right now, real quick and easy. Now my hands are sticky, but that's a good thing, I guess. Now I have noticed that, there's some spots here where we've got nails in the front of this, and the drawers will cover those. They won't really be noticeable, but sometimes my OCD just gets the best of me. So I'm gonna put a little bit of caulk right here on those, and then I'll come back with a wet rag and wipe that. It just takes a tiny little bit, but you know, you're here, might as well. All right, a few more right over here. Now this one won't be covered by the door, so I'm gonna put a little bit on here, kind of fill it in with my finger, and then come back with this moist cloth and wipe off any excess. Now you want to make sure that you give this a little bit of time to dry, or that you don't leave any water on there if you're going to paint it right away. Kind of like I'm doing right now. I'm going to paint this right away. Let's see how it looks with a little coat of paint on it. Ooh, isn't that a pretty color? Wow, looky there. That is gonna be great. Okay, this looks nice, and I will explain though. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like right there, there's a little streak. It doesn't look perfect. That's okay, because we're gonna put on a second coat, and when we put that second coat on, it's gonna look like glass. It'll be great.